All right, welcome back into the Bettor Half Hour. Very excited to bring you a new guest. You've seen her all over Daily Wager as well as the national TV airwaves, Anita Marks. Anita, how are we?
I'm great. I don't know. Can anyone be better than Mike White right now? I don't think so, but I'm up there. I'm up there, Alex.
Yeah, let's get into it, Anita. So the Jets' problems are solved with Mike White at quarterback. Are we on the mark with that or not?
I think you are on the mark, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep in mind, right, his first game right out of the box was against the Chicago Bears, arguably worst defense in the NFL. As we know, Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn are no longer there. He's got a tougher go this coming week against the Minnesota Vikings, but, you saw it in the game, the way he was able to move the ball down the field. You saw the other players, Garrett Wilson, all the other guys around him respond offensively. We know what we get from this Jets defense. They are arguably top 3 in the NFL. All they needed is somebody to just score some field goals. Just put 13 points on the board, and this Jets defense, I think, can do the rest. So I think you are on the mark here, Alex.
And Anita, just to follow up on that, knowing what the Jets have been, which is defensive-minded, and then seeing with the Salah CVS receipts and making sure who's talking about this team, do you think it's Mike White's team moving forward, or do you think they're very much going to play it week to week?
That's a great question. I think it's a tough situation for Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh because they have hitched their wagon to Zach Wilson, considering they drafted him number 2 overall. But I commend the organization for benching him and going with Mike White. I was never fond of the pick. I didn't believe that the Jets should have selected him at 2 from BYU, subpar competition, not a very small sample size to judge him on. We'll see. Does the organization continue to move with Mike White, who, again, I think it's really important, Alex, inside that locker room. Robert Saleh doesn't want to lose that locker room, especially his defensive guys. I think they might be forced to continue to move with Mike White, even though they drafted Zach Wilson number 2 overall.
Yeah, highest passer rating among all quarterbacks in NFL Week 12. All right, Anita, on the mark or not, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick will both miss the NFL playoffs.
I think you are off the mark here. And let's start with the Patriots. As much as we know how great Bill Belichick is, offensively, Mac Jones, and by the way, let me preface by saying I do love me some Mac Jones. I felt like Mac Jones was one of the best quarterbacks coming out of the draft, but night and day in regard to this offense and how he's able to operate in it now with Matt Patricia, now calling the plays with Josh, of course, Josh McDaniel now over in Las Vegas with the Raiders. So they just struggle offensively. They can't get anything going. They as well have a great defense, top 3, top 5 defense in the NFL. It's just unfortunate offensively they can't get anything going. As for the Bucs and Tom Brady, their division is arguably the worst in the NFL. Isn't that the story, though, of Tom Brady's career? I just feel like a lot of Tom Brady's success, and I know a lot of people like to call him the GOAT. I don't. But a lot of people, I mean, when you look at his success, look at the division he played in, with all due respect to the Jets, but the Dolphins, the Bills, they were god-awful for so long. One thing about Tom Brady, boy, he's smart. He knows what division to go play for. And now with the Bucs, Atlanta, Carolina, the Saints, they do not pose a big threat. Really, they're in the driver's seat. I think the Bucs get in, again, just because they're playing in a god-awful division.
Yeah, well said. Timing is everything. Tommy Brady again. Perfect arrival in Tampa. All right, Anita, I want to throw this to you. The Giants are the worst team in the NFC East. Am I on the mark or off?
I think you're on the mark here, and it pains me to say that because I'm a big Daniel Jones fan. I'm a big Brian Dable fan. Dave Gettleman put this team in the toilet, and Joe Shane is trying to get them out of the bowels of Jersey. So I like what they've done. I think there's a lot of promise here, but too many injuries to the offensive line. Wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson is out now. DBs, Adoree Jackson. And they have arguably the most difficult schedule moving forward, right? They're taking on, get this, they're taking on Washington, and then Washington has a bye while the Giants have to take on the Philadelphia Eagles and then turn around and play Washington again. So Washington, it's like the Giants, a bye, and then Giants again. How fair is that? Roger Goodell, what are you doing to John Mara and the Giants? So it pains me to say it because I really loved watching this Giants team and cheering for them. And I love Daniel Jones and I love what I've seen from him this season. But unfortunately, I think the Giants finished last in that division just because they're just injury riddled right now. They don't have a lot of depth.
Yeah, wild times in the NFC East. As of right now, all 4 teams would be headed to the playoffs if they kicked off today. That was Anita Marks. On the mark or not, make sure to check out Daily Wager and all things Anita is on.